Hey, welcome. I'm meteorologist Tom Kvick. I'm going to update you now. A little bit milder weathercast than you've been used to with a hurricane and trying to be in our forecast, but it's missing us off to the southeast. But we have the west side of it to deal with here. Heavy overcast skies there at 75 degrees and quite muggy with a dew point of 72. That gives us an RH of about 90%. And then going up to Toledo Bend, it is 73 there. We also see the clouds, a little traffic moving back and forth as folks are out and about in this part of the world. Stelli's in LeBeau. You can see the cloud motions are a little bit faster there. See that? More influence closer to the hurricane down that way. Saw some rain there earlier. I think that has pretty well stopped, but you can see still some puddles lying around, and that area is 75 degrees. A satellite shot indicating that we see this central dense overhead really well organized here. And I think there was a little bit of a delay between that and it translated into the circulation and intensity of the storm because there was a landfall position that it was just occurred with that. But you can see this has a sheared look to it as that upper level trough out to the west is kind of shearing it out. And certainly now that it's on shore, it will weaken. So this is the track for Francine. Again, it is onshore as a Category 2, 100-mile-per-hour hurricane, and it'll be moving northward and recurving back up to the north there across portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley. So that whole track to the east of us, we're on the dry side of that and the calmer side of it here in Cenla. So it looks like we kind of dodged a bullet with this one, and we'll pray for our friends down south because it might be a kind of a there'll be some damage with that, and it'll be disruptive to folks' lives. Looking at the radar, not much happening here, but let's go down south where we see a landfall right now just occurring with the hurricane. I'll put this in motion the past hour. The northern part of the eye wall came on shore a little bit earlier, around 4 o'clock, or maybe even a little bit before that, but the center of the eye crossing there in Terrebonne Parish, about 30 miles southwest of Morgan City, as a Cat 2, a 100-mile-per-hour hurricane there, and that is official from the Hurricane Center. Really nasty band on the west side of that. We've got the big cities, the metro areas of Baton Rouge. We got home of Thibodeau. We've also got New Orleans in the crosshairs of this. One of the things about this intensifying as it's coming on shore, that makes it a worse storm. That tends to overachieve in damage potential because the energy is more efficiently translated to the ground in that type of situation. Also, it is speeding up some. It's now 17 miles per hour. Hurricane Laura was 18, I think about 18 and a half as it moved through Cenla, and that helped Laura retain damaging wind well inland, farther than it normally would have. And I think this is going to happen with this one. Certainly this one not nearly as strong as Laura, but you kind of get the idea that especially in these areas to the west and north of New Orleans, they're going to have a pretty good windstorm out of this, even despite the fact that it is weakening. So again, we'll keep those friends of ours down there in our prayers. All right, let's check things out. Otherwise, with the satellite and radar, we can see how the hurricane is progressing to the northeast. And again, you can see these outer bands associated with that little trough feature to the north. But if you look to the west, this is our forecast to come as the hurricane gets to the east of us and drives northward through Mississippi. Tomorrow we'll get on the back side of that, and that will bring in some dry air. I think especially we have a morning chance for rain, but afterwards I think we're okay. Futurecast, even for tomorrow morning, this model not showing much happening, and probably they will be more than what this shows going on, but I think it will be light stuff, maybe even some non-measurable drizzle or something like that. Hit and miss showers throughout the morning hours. Once we get into the afternoon, I don't think we're going to see much happening there either. And then going into Friday, rain chances look like they're out of here as what's left of Francine gets farther away from us at that time. Satellite looking at another system down south, way out there in the tropical Atlantic. This is Tropical Depression number 7, which is happening over in that area. This, of course, is a 35-mile-per-hour storm moving to the west-northwest at just under 20 miles per hour, and the central pressure 1,007 millibars. But what we're seeing here will be a tropical storm as we head into maybe the next coming days. as that moves west-northwest through the large expanse of the open tropical Atlantic there. So yeah, we'll watch this one, Nick and I will, to see what it does. It's not recurving or anything showing signs of that a little bit early, and we always kind of get concerned about these once they kind of drive north of the islands there without turning northward. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one, Tropical Depression 7. All right, 7-day forecast back home for us. We're looking at the rainfall ending for tomorrow, later in the day, afternoon, and evening. And we will see a high of only about 80 degrees after a low of 69. Friday and Saturday, I keep rain out of the forecast, but with a little ridging aloft. And many times that happens after a hurricane passes through. You get on the back side of that circulation and it heats up. Remember how hot it was after Laura? Well, same thing's going to happen this time, only in a modified version for us, though. 91 for a high on Saturday. That'll be a hot day. Some 90s for Sunday. In fact, even Friday, somebody could hit 90 or 91 that day. And then going into the rain chances, I will put something in for Sunday and Monday. Little weather coming back out of the east. I don't know if that's a backlash from what will be left of Francine in the upper levels to the northeast of us or something like that. But there's some indications that we'll see a little weather come in from that direction. And then chances are not high, 30 and 20%. And then Tuesday and Wednesday only going with 10% those days. But high pressure remains in control of things. But there'll be a big trough out west. And that will kind of pump up the high a little bit. So that will push our highs back 89 and 90. Kind of toasty in the afternoons there, folks. But, yep, down here, middle of September, it can still get hot, as you know. All right, take care, and thanks for tuning in. And, of course, Nick and I will be back with you tomorrow. He'll be with you in the morning. I'll be with you in the PM. Take care.